Did you like my mini burps in a row?
No, actually, I didn't hear them. Recreate them now. For content! For content!
No content for you.
Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red!
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny. Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting! Burning!
Now all of you.
Die.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky.
I'm Michael.
I'm Johnny. Hello.
And we make up Anime Casuals, and Michael is very tsundere today, I guess, or whatever.
No, I'm not. I don't like you either.
You did that a little too well, and I don't appreciate that. I don't know why. So welcome back to the Casual Discussion, everybody, where we talk about everything with a little bit of a casual touch. Today, I thought it would be fun to talk about, because in the past we've played, a lot of games where we end up doing punishment animes, and the idea is to give people either an anime that you just want them to just absolutely cringe over, or have them basically talk about or have them watch an anime that you really want them to watch, so you can have other people to talk to about that anime. And so that we're going to be embracing the latter of that today. So today we're going to be talking about our top anime that we want each other to watch, whether it be just one or two of us. And I definitely understand this to a certain extent, especially after talking to people from different countries. Sometimes when you don't have anybody to talk to about an anime, it's like it can get really like strange. So I'll go ahead and start this one, since I was the one that proposed it. The first one on this list, the problem is I don't know if you guys have watched some of these, so I have like 5 on here, but the first one is Welcome to Demon School of Rumikun. I've really enjoyed this anime a lot more than I thought I was going to, and it's such a like a grand scale. So there's like 25 episodes per season. There's 2 seasons out so far, and every single time there's like a new season, they tend to up the ante just a little bit. And there's so much going on there that I think you guys would really enjoy. And funny enough, I can't find enough people that actually watch it. Maybe I could if I tried, but the anime community is so small anyway. So in our own little like bubble, it's like we have like the weekend talk anime that we talk about. But Welcome to Demon School of Rumikun is one of those guilty pleasures that I've noticed that I have. But it's also one of those ones where I'm like, I feel like Johnny would appreciate some of the short skirts on these demons, and I think that Michael would enjoy some of the story elements of this anime. But anyway, Welcome to Demon School of Rumikun is my first choice.
Okay, I'm just going to target Lucky with my next one, and I'm sure Johnny would agree with this one. You should watch season 2 of Dr. Stone.
The only reason I didn't have that on my list.
Yeah, it's really good. I would also highly recommend Dr. Stone to anybody out there. I would not recommend it for those of you who don't care about science, and that's like your last thing. It's very heavily science-based, and the story is still really good.
Yeah.
But every episode they do a thing where they're like, let's dive into how this is made and what chemicals make it up and blah, 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 blah. I mean, Lucky's watched season 1. And it's a really good anime for being like so out of the box for what it is. It's definitely one of those anime that I felt like revitalized my love of anime, to be like, yes, another anime that's killing it and is not like anything else. It's like, it's not an isekai. It's not some special genre. It's just, hey, the world got petrified. Then nature took over, and now we're 1,000 or something years later. And I would highly recommend it to everybody, including Lucky, to watch the second season. Mostly because the second season is really where I feel like the meat of the story is, and really where it's almost like a 2-season like intro to the anime, because I'm like, now that season 2 is over, it's like, okay, now we're here where the meat of the story is gonna be.
Well, that's the thing, as they keep like progressing with technology, it's like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna do next? What are they gonna do next?
Yeah, it's just a hype anime, but it, you know, the reason why I want Lucky to watch it, because I want to talk to him about it, and so we can explore it together as one.
Wow, it's like that's like the whole meaning of this list. I funny enough, when I said this list, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers are gonna say Dr. Stone season 2, aren't they?
Yeah, aren't we? Aren't we? I put that one literally on here as a joke, but I just wanted to toss that one out.
Man, I struggle with trying to think of some of these, and I didn't think it was going to be so difficult. But one I did think of, just because if I remember right, you haven't seen it. It's Metabots. Have you seen Metabots? I'm just making sure now.
I don't
can just
remember.
Skip my turn.
You keep talking.
I don't.
I know you have.
Okay.
That's why I was like, it's not for you. Actually, I'll be honest. I haven't been able to think of one for you. Lucky,
No,
because I feel like you've seen everything we've all seen and more.
oh, I have plenty on my list for him.
Yeah. Whoa, what's all this crazy? Yeah. So Metabots.
He's gonna go watch it again. This is for Johnny. This is Johnny's.
No, I didn't know
own
there was like
suggestion.
if they like revitalized it, redid it. Metabots was a cool like 90s anime, and it involved
It's tiny Transformers.
yeah, kind of imagine like kind of Pokemon, but not really. They're robots, and you fight with them, and they all have medals that give them their like personality and like traits and stuff. And if you don't have a great medal with a great body, then it doesn't really meld well. And I don't know, it was just always a really cool series, and the characters are pretty fun. They're really loud and obnoxious, so yeah, I thought Metabots was a fun choice, and I think you should watch it. Will you? That's fine. I don't know.
I don't know either, but
It's not out anywhere.
I have
so.
most definitely watched an episode of Metabots, but because it came out in 1997 and 1999, I can't promise any more than that.
Good year.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, that was such a good English dub too. I remember me and Johnny were watching it one day. Can't remember when we were just
1999 to 2000.
we were watching some of the like some YouTube clips of them, and I swear to God, I was just cracking. We were just cracking up the entire time because of how good it was. The freaking voice actors
awesome.
killed it. It was so good, especially that guy with like the Phantom mask, or I don't remember if that's his name or not, but
Oh yeah.
that guy was hilarious, dude. It's so good. But anyway, the next one I wanted to go into here.
I don't know what that means.
It's a
What-
manga.
The next one I wanted to these guys to watch was Hajime no Ippo. So I've mentioned this one a lot.
I've watched one episode.
Yeah, and I got
on YouTube.
I got really into it because around this time I was practicing martial arts, and I was like trying to get into boxing primarily, but I was also doing jiu-jitsu. But there's not a jiu-jitsu anime out there, but people get on it. Yeah, I really enjoyed Hajime no Ippo, and it's a lot. It's a lot like other anime where they have these arcs, but I like how they actually use like real, like the Dempsey roll is real. The smash that Kendo uses is real. It's all real. It's very exaggerated, by the way. It's very real, but it's very exaggerated. But obviously, you need to kind of exaggerate things for the animation to look really cool, and they do a really good job of that. So even if you're not like a boxing fan, they explain everything, and they base a lot of the fighting styles off of very prominent boxers. Like the main character Ippo is based off of Mike Tyson, so he does the peekaboo style and stuff. And I really like it, and there's just so many out there aspects of the anime that are like that happen outside of the ring that are like so hilarious, but that are also very like there's also heartbreaking moments when people lose, and I just think overall it's such a good anime. And I remember I only had one person to talk about it with. It was somebody that I was training for. I would hold pads for him, and we'd practice Hajime no Ippo punches and stuff. So yeah, I've always wanted these guys to like get into it at some point, but it's a lot of fucking episodes. It took me a while to actually like catch up with it. So but either way, if you guys ever have a maybe like 15 hours to spare, maybe you guys can go and check that out.
15. Just keep it casual.
Yeah, keep it
I got
casual.
you, I got you.
15 casual 15 hours.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Casual 15. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Let's get into. Okay, so my next one is a general recommendation, probably more for Johnny than Lucky. And I feel like I've heard Johnny say he might watch it in the first place. but it's to watch Shaman King, the new stuff that's out.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatively good. It's like 30 episodes out already. And it's just an easy watch. And that's the thing I would say about it, is that it's kind of like rewatching a little bit of Naruto, but sped up, or like watching Dragon Ball Z Kai. It's just like easy to watch, good shonen story. And then it's a very interesting world that you dive into. It's like, oh, do I want to go watch another anime that's kind of similar to the big three, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, but that's quicker and is not as intense as those three? Yeah, I'll go watch Shaman King, because it's still relatively intense, like emotional, and can be pretty violent at times. But it's got kind of like fairy tale moments where it's like you hit me. Oh, you're not broken and bloodied and beat up. It's like, oh, no. The like, people get beat up a lot, but they're not going to show like My Hero Academia levels of damage on their body. So yeah, I would highly recommend watching Shaman King. Mostly if you're bored and don't have anything else to watch.
Fair enough.
Nice disclaimer there.
Whenever I finish JoJo's, that crazy adventure. So my next one, I don't think either of you have watched it. I'm not sure. Cells at Work Code Black.
Okay.
No, neither of you.
Mm-mm.
So I would recommend this only because it's almost seemed a little bit more interesting, because it's a much darker take on it's a much darker take than the original Cells at Work, and it talks about a lot of more afflicting problems, and so it is very interesting. So I would probably recommend that, because it's not as, like I said, kind of like fuzzy and happy as Cells at Work. Fine anime, but some of the problems and things you see in Code Black are pretty gnarly, and it makes it pretty entertaining. So yeah, Code Black.
Damn, that's yeah. I remember you. I remember you covered it at some point, but I didn't get into the first Cells at Work. So but I do like the idea of having something a little bit more serious, because watching like red blood cells or white blood cells just run around and just murdering things was actually kind of funny. So even when they tried to be like super gruesome and stuff, it was just hilarious. So yeah, maybe that's something to check out. Another one over here is another fighting anime that came out a while ago. It's called Konichi, the Mightiest Disciple. I really enjoyed this anime because, just like Hajime Ippo had all of these real life boxing styles, this one has very generalized fighting styles. So, Konichi is learning from like 5 different masters of 5 different martial arts, or 5 or 6, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's what is it? Muay Thai, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, Kenpo Karate, Ninjutsu, and maybe something. Chinese martial arts. I don't remember what the Chinese martial arts was. But it shows so many freaking martial arts in it that, at least just from like the first 50 episodes, which is all that's out right now besides the OVAs, that it's just so cool to watch it. And I just like, I think mostly why I want them to watch these martial arts animes, I think I'm trying to slowly get them into the UFC watching, because I I was just talking about one of my buddies the other day, and he was like, dude, nobody
watch UFC with me.
Yeah, dude, he was like, nobody likes UFC. We went over to, little side story, we went over to a place that's almost like a Hooters over here, and we went over there specifically to watch the UFC. Bro, they shut that shit off within like 20 minutes or 30 minutes of us being there, and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch football. I'm like, this was a pay-per-view event. You're just gonna shut off the pay-per-view event for football? At least put it on one monitor. We finally got them to put it on 2 monitors, but one of the monitors was like split in half because half of the screen didn't work. So it was like we watched it we were able to watch it on 1.5 monitors. It was terrible. It was terrible. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I love fighting. I love martial arts so much that I think that shows like Hajime Ippo and Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple, really help like spread the word on that. So I might just be like, I might just be projecting my love of martial arts onto that, and then I want these guys to get into it too. I don't know. I'm psychoanalyzing myself a little bit too much. Michael, what's your next one?
Yeah, that's good. Let's psychoanalyze you for the rest of the video. No, 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 no. Let's go with one for Johnny. I don't remember if you had finished this anime, but I know we watched a good chunk of it. But a light recommendation is to go finish Panty and Stocking. I don't know if you finished that anime yet.
No, I haven't.
Yes,
I think about it sometimes.
it's a really good anime. The best part about the anime one is it's fan servicey, but not over fan servicey. I would say it's like tasteful fan service for how much they like put into animating. When it's like, oh, we're gonna do nudie bits, it's very cartoon heavy. And then when it's like, okay, now transformation sequence, they just flip on the budget and they're like, okay, let's put all our money into this. And there's boss fights that they sometimes, when they kill the boss, it's just claymation that explodes. It literally has a bunch of different animation styles, and the story's pretty good as well. It's not one I would quite recommend for Lucky. I just know he would probably laugh at it, but it's not quite.
It actually was good from what I saw of it.
Okay.
I remember you showed me and Johnny at the same time, and it was.
It's really funny.
It was actually, yeah, it was a really good one. I can't we can't talk about the scene that I was going to talk about. I'll tell them off air. But yeah, there was one scene where I was like, this joke just hits me in the feels, but not in the feels that you're thinking of. Anyway,
and the story for it is actually a little bit more serious than you would expect watching the first 4 episodes. So that is pretty interesting. One I would recommend for Lucky is one called Golden Kamui. And it is an amazing anime that's all about basically a military person and a Ainu, which is basically a native of Japan, who go and search for these tattoos that are tattooed on these prisoners that lead them to the sacred Ainu treasure, which is just like a pound upon pound upon pound of gold. The treasure. It's the One Piece. No joke, that was going in my head at the same time. But the best thing about Gold Kamui is that it's hilarious. It is super weird at times because of the personalities of the characters. Like, you would not expect some of these characters to be so strange. The dub is fantastic. It's like one of the best dubs I heard in a long time. And the story itself is full and rich with a lot of Japanese culture and a lot of Ainu specific I almost said facts, but that's a boring way to say it. Like a lot of specific Ainu cultural references. And that's all. It's one of the few anime that's actually taught me about the history of Japan, which I think says something for watching so much anime as we have done, that this is one of the few anime that's like, have you heard of the Ainu? I'm like, I've literally never heard of the Ainu before this anime. And then I watched it, I was like, oh, I'm actually Chitata. I know about things now.
Yeah, that's a super fun anime.
And there's a 4th season coming out, so perfect time to jump in.
There you go.
You got a whole 3 seasons. Okay. My next recommendation is actually going to be for Lucky only. I did think of one. It's going to be an anime I watched called Maria the Virgin Witch.
I watched it.
There's reasons why I picked this anime, and they were not the reasons why I kept watching the anime. I think you're gonna like it just because there's a lot of moral dilemmas in it, and a lot of kind of intense just perspectives and views on, death and war. So I just think that could be interesting, and I think you might enjoy it. Who knows?
I do like a good moral dilemma. I mean, shit, it's like half my life.
I'm literally sending that to our buddy Nathan right now.
Maria the Virgin.
Yeah, because I think he would also like it.
Oh my god, yeah. So I guess we'll just count or do a little bit of a lightning round right now. I only have like 2 more left anyway, so I'll just say them in one go. The first one is this one right here. Yes, that I can read. This one is the first.
Oh, this one. Oh, that sounds interesting.
This one, guys, you have to watch it. It's like One Piece, but it's this one instead. The first one is Remake Our Life. I don't know if you guys ended up watching more than one episode of this, but
yeah, I did.
So it came out last season or 2 seasons ago, but I really enjoyed this, and I actually mostly recommend this to Johnny because we watched another one called Real Life, And
That's what I'm thinking of.
this was a lot like that one, and it had a lot of the same overtones, but very different in a lot of other ways. So I feel like it would be just one of those, because these guys were actually the ones that told me about it. That's why I remembered they had mentioned it to me, and then I started watching it, and I was like, bro, this. Dude, anytime anybody talks about regrets that they had and if they could just go back over, it's always something in the back of my head. So I was like, you know what? I love it. I love it. And plus, the guys are like my age. I think they're like 28 or 29. So I'm like, oh god, this is a little too real. But but anyway, and my last one, and this actually should have been on the top of my list, but I didn't know how we were gonna put these in order. Berserk. I love Berserk. And it's just such a shame that I can't talk about the human tragedies and atrocities that have occurred. Besides, the only one that these guys probably know is like the most famous, the most infamous one, I should say. But there's so much more torture, guys, out there than just a crowd of demons killing all the friends of people and just random rape. I mean, there's more rape and there's more random killing. So I just want to I just want to talk to people about all this murder and rape that's going on, man. I just this is gonna be taken out of context someday.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Johnny, that's super weird, right? He wants to talk to us about the rape and the torture, and we want to talk to him about science. So I mean, I guess we could trade off, right? We'll watch Berserk.
Whoa, let's calm down here, bro. Let's calm down here. This is I can only take so much, okay? I can only take so much.
I can't talk about sad and happy at the same time. This is weird. Although something to play in your brain while I'm reading my list. Did we not watch Berserk? I don't remember.
I remember seeing a version of it. I don't know if that was
like the
movie. Some kind of like OVA format,
yeah,
or maybe it was like a 3-episode
I feel like you guys watched the original one, but I'm talking about like after all that crazy shit happened.
And the movies too.
Yeah, exactly. But the movies are just like a recap of the before thing.
Okay, so to finish off my list, and I don't remember if Lucky watched this. Punchline is really funny, but my brain explodes trying to think about what the storyline for. Well, and also, I think I watched this with you, but I don't fully remember. But I guess a suggestion to both, but maybe towards Lucky, is Tanya Saga of Evil.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, I think I might have watched the entire thing with you.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It finishes off the Isekai quartet that you haven't seen, Lucky.
Yep.
And I would say the best part about it is its grittiness. The story is like in World War I, but with magic added to it. But basically, all the players are still the same. And when you add magic into it, it becomes a lot more gruesome of a war where people are just dying. But then you add in a person who's been isekai'd with all the knowledge of previous wars, and then the strategy comes in where this person's basically working for World War I Germany. So the Germany that's not as bad as the World War II Germany. They still suck, but I mean, like, they're not committing as nearly as many atrocities.
They don't have a Hitler, right? That's basically the.
They have no Hitler. That's exactly, yes. And that's why it's like World War I era fighting, but like with World War II era weapons. So, and then of course it's an isekai, so it's kind of like Earth, but not Earth. Let me double check. Hero no Sora, I would recommend for both of you. I know you started it, but I would recommend finishing it. It's 50 episodes, and it's an emotional roller coaster. And what it does differently than like a Haikyuu, I would also recommend Kuroko's Basketball if you guys want something that's a little bit more like Haikyuu with a little bit less character building and more about the sport. A Hero no Sora is way more about the emotional changes that the characters go through, and it's a lot more of a heartstring puller. My last one, if you guys want a retro anime, because I was like, I'm going to get you guys 2 retro animes. One, I always talk about it's Ranma 1/2. It's a really long anime. It's like, I think it's like 9 to 11 seasons or something. It's super long, but every episode is nice. It's just easy to watch. It's a really good show to put on in the background. So if you're doing something, it's got a nice dub to it. And for the first like season or 2, you don't really need to pay attention to any story because it really plays out kind of like an episode of Dragon Ball Z, where almost every episode through Dragon Ball Z like is not really canonical. It's like here's a couple episodes that string together, here's another couple episodes, here's a big bad that's sort of doing stuff, but it's not till the end of the arc that they actually deal with that. And then my last one, if you want a true retro dive back, is Magic Knight Ray Earth. Magic Knight Ray Earth is an RPG, JRPG anime about 3 girls, a red, a green, and a blue one, who isekai themselves. It's like OG isekai. Get isekai'd in this world to save them from the demon lord. It's not a demon lord though, but it's like the tyrannical ruler, kind of like Zelda is. Save them from Ganondorf. And through there, they basically have evolving armor and evolving weapons and magic that slowly build up with them. And then eventually they have to go find giant robots, and that's awesome.
Nice. I remember you showed us the
That
first
sounds
episode of
fair.
that one, and I was like, bro, this is like Sailor Moon animation. This is crazy shit right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And it's actually it's so good. But it's also one I feel like when people think about like retro anime, that's not the first thing that's the top of their
Yeah,
list.
no, I agree.
But it's a good dive into what anime used to be and the slowness but good storytelling that used to come with it. There's also a video game about it too, but I would not recommend playing the video game. Watch the anime.
I don't actually have anything left.
Oh, that's a great anime.
Yeah. If anything, maybe one stretch, I'd be like, I want you to watch High School DxD. Just for the loose. There's such a loose like mythology aspect to it, and it's just silly. But it might be enough to make you be like, yeah, fine, I'll watch it. But
Yeah,
do you.
the only problem with that,
Norse
Johnny,
gods
is that it comes in a
Greek
little bit
gods,
later. It comes in a little
Lucifer.
bit later in the anime, so it's like it's hard to completely justify it. But
No,
it-
it's true. To be honest, they talk about like mythology like for 2, maybe 3 straight episodes.
They're like,
And then they
this
drop
one's
it.
called Hades, and then this one's called Aphrodite.
No, that's insane.
No, come
But that'd be
on,
funny.
Michael. That's Greek mythology. We're talking about Norse mythology.
This one's Thor, and this is his hammer.
There, you got it. There you go. You figured it out. Now you
And then
figured
she
it out.
slams her boobs together at such a high speed that a wave shoots out. Sorry, that's Kaijo.
Wait, have you seen it?
What? Does that happen? Stop. I was like, that happened to Kaijo.
Oh my god.
Go
Oh,
watch
man.
Kaijo.
Go watch Kaijo. That's a recommendation from us to you
Kaijo.
guys. Okay,
Yeah.
so you definitely gotta watch Kaijo.
Wonderful.
Especially since
silly,
Since
stupid
that
anime.
one scene of the teacher hitting the chalk with her booty is like memed out of existence, and nobody knows
Yep.
where that's from for some reason. But it's Kaijo. You definitely gotta go see it. But anyway, guys, remember you can check out all things casual at the link tree in the description box down below. Also, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at animecasuals with an S, real, REAL, at gmail.com. And of course, we always read your comments, so feel free to comment down below. We've been getting a lot of good ones lately, so let us know what you think. Let us know if there's anything on your list of things that we should be watching, because obviously we're not going to catch all of them. I mean, we're struggling this season to keep up with everything. So any recommendation we
barely
always welcome. But as always, guys, don't forget to keep
It.
Casual. Beep boop.